and I could not be more excited to introduce Sister Simone Campbell. For many years, she has been so very generous with her talents to Families USA, this conference, and our community. Sister Simone is a religious leader, attorney, a poet, a national thought leader, and speaker with extensive experience in public policy and advocacy. She is a member of the Sisters of Social Justice, a Roman Catholic religious institute of women founded in Hungary in 1923. The sisters focus their work on advancing the well-being and needs of the poor, and very rarely they believe God's calling embraces political activism. I absolutely love that, because it does. She's the executive director of Network, a leading Catholic organization for social justice and peace. In 2010, during the national debate around healthcare, she wrote the now famous Nuns Letter, obtaining 59 signatures, which was cited by many as critical in passing the Affordable Care Act. She has led 5 Nuns on the Bus trips focused on different aspects of social justice, from immigration reform to voter turnout. As I mentioned this morning, her latest bus trip, Nuns on the Bus to Mar-a-Lago, focused on the Republican tax law and growing divide between the rich and poor in our nation. Absolutely brilliant. Sister Simone has received widespread recognition for her work, including a Franklin D. Roosevelt Four Freedoms Award and the Defender of Democracy Award from the International Parliamentarians for Global Action. She is inspiring, she is compassionate, she is brilliant, and she is powerful. Please let's give Sister Simone a very warm welcome.
Woohoo! Thank you, Frederick. Well, I hope I measure up to that introduction. I'm really excited to share with you for the first time in a public setting a little video clip from our trip. Could we show the video? It's coming. We're on a road for justice, and this is the last march. I can't believe it. We're here. We worked 27 days for this moment, so we want to savor every moment. We the people can make a change. We the people can make it different. We can vote, we can change our representatives, but we can also make sure that whoever is our representative, we engage and insist that they work for the common good.
We vow to support a bigger, more kind, and generous vision for America.
We are sick and tired of hearing our elected representatives say one thing to us and then act a different way in Washington, make promises here at home, and then take votes that hurt the least fortunate among us.
And it is only when we each individually, as normal people, take responsibility that change will come.
November 6th was a great day for us where we moved our nation forward. We reclaimed our democracy.
This bus, with all of the thousands of signatures on it, is the direct counterpoint to Mar-a-Lago. And the thousands of signatures on this bus, this is we the people standing up, saying we're in it together.
We care for the 100% in our nation. That's what we're about. It's that message that we've got to take to newly elected. Amen. It's that message that you all become bearers of as you engage with your public officials, as you work in coalition, as you do various amazing deeds in the service of creating a healthcare system that works for all of us. On the bus, we were out on the issue of taxes and tax policy and the terrible, and I will say this, Republican tax bill that was passed in December of 2017 without allowing Democrats to participate in the process, without allowing Democrats in the House a chance to read the 1,800-page bill. It was introduced one day, and 2 days later a vote was taken on it. It was passed without any engagement, any hearings, any broader response at all. So I call it a Republican bill in sort of a nonpartisan fashion. It's merely saying the truth. But in that truth, what we learned on the road was that these tax policies have consequences to healthcare. In Phoenix, we discovered, anybody from Arizona? Anybody here? Don't see any hands. Okay. In Phoenix, we discovered that the organizations serving the homeless have come together to create one central campus in downtown Phoenix to care for the homeless. And they have created this state-of-the-art medical facility, dental facility. I'm sending my dentist there to learn what it ought to look like. And as well as a respite care for medically fragile homeless. It is a total integrated care, but they're terrified because they depend a lot on community development block grants and other financial monies from the federal government, and they're being told to expect a cut. How do we care for our people's health care if we keep cutting? In Denver, we met Rachel, who was so excited to have health care for the first time, and ever since she was a little child, she has had this chronic genetic condition, and at the end of her first year, she'd already maxed out her care for her whole entire lifetime. The ACA changed that. But do you know what Rachel told us? Is that now she felt not worthy of having health care because she had been told for over 20 years she didn't deserve care because she cost too much. This is the consequence of not giving our people care from the very beginning, that even when they do have care, they don't trust it. In Beaver, Pennsylvania, we lobbied with the little lobbyist, and we lobbied this, some little lobbyists here. They're a great group. Make sure you wave your hands so everybody knows. Woohoo! But what we discovered with the little lobbyist is that trusting that healthcare is being delivered and can be relied upon for medically complex situations for young kids is critically important for families. It takes a village to care for a child who's so vulnerable. But do you know what we also heard as we lobbied the legislator, the member of Congress in Beaver, Pennsylvania? That he didn't meet with constituents because, he was really shy. He's an introvert. And the constituents we were with, they said, well, he meets with his donors. Why doesn't he meet with us? What the staff member said is he doesn't know what to say. All right. This got our dander up, and this is where it comes to you. You all need to continue to knock on the doors, engage, make it clear from the beginning that we, the people, are watching our elected members. Now, I'm pleased to report this incredibly shy member of Congress is no longer with us. So, thanks to the work of so many people, we have a change here in Washington. I want to lift up two more stories from the trip. In Savannah, Georgia, we were at a town hall looking at this intersection of healthcare and taxes. And a woman stood up and said, in our state, it's really difficult because we haven't expanded Medicaid. It's very difficult. And she asked us, we were in a church, a Baptist church, and she asked us to pray for her neighbor, a mom of 3, who had died a couple of days earlier because she could not afford her asthma medication. And what she said was they had tried to do a GoFundMe campaign, but didn't have enough money to get her the inhaler. In low-income communities, this is immoral. This is wrong. This is not who we are as a nation. We're a nation who says we want all to prosper. Everyone is welcome. All should live to the extent of their abilities and contribute to our society. That's wrong. That a woman should die for not being able to afford her inhaler, and for a state to willfully refuse to expand the mechanisms for her to be able to live. That's wrong. It's also wrong that in Mar-a-Lago, I realize most people don't even know what Mar-a-Lago looks like. I didn't, but the bus shot with that sort of Spanish-style small little tower, that's Mar-a-Lago. But what we found out when we were in Mar-a-Lago was that there's over 300 shut-in seniors, that's homebound seniors, who are on a waiting list to get Meals on Wheels in the county that holds Mar-a-Lago with all of its wealth. All right, advocates, we've got work to do. All around us, we have stories like this. We have stories that we hear. We have stories of people we know, or we have our own stories. We, the people, must be missionaries to our elected representatives. We, the people, must make it clear that for democracy to work, they need to listen. We, the people, must make sure that these stories are told broadly, and we find a way to solve what feels some days like the insolvable. But you know what? Some of you here have answers to how we fix this. Please spread those ideas. That's why we're here at the conference. But the other piece is, you don't have to know all the answers. You just have to raise the questions, tell the stories, and then say to our electeds, that's why we elected you, to figure out how to fix this. Please, get to work. Get on with it. So, can we make a pact right now that we, the people, will use this meal to nourish our spirits and our hearts? We, the people, will use this meeting to increase our commitment. We, the people, then, will take action. And then the rest will be history, as they say, as we achieve our final goal of creating a nation that cares, so that we have equitable, accessible, affordable health care for all in our nation. Are you with me? Let's do it.